Gotta be fucking kidding.
Here's the first movie.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Peel that pig and slice him thick.
The body count is always bigger.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
The fucking trees walked in those movies.
Hi, doggy.
What a story, Mark.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Life moves pretty fast.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise.
37 dicks. In a row?
I'm your number one fan.
Howdy, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another very special episode of Marathon Me. Today, we're covering the third film in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid trilogy. That's right. So it's a trilogy. The next two episodes will just be, special add-ons.
Just add-ons to the real stuff.
Exactly, yeah. No, exactly. It's like a DLC pack. But, so I'm joined here by, my co-host Rhys, obviously.
Of course.
And today, we've got another special guest. Last week, we had the late, great Kyle DePastina.
He's dead?
Yeah.
It's been a week and he's dead.
It's been a week, he's dead. So, rest in peace, we love you. But today, we've got someone to carry on his spirit. The beautiful, the brawny, the brainy Jacob Sartori.
Thank you for introducing me, and I'll be happy to take on Kyle's legacy. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
You got some mighty big shoes to fill.
Oh,
That's the second guest of Marathon Me.
I know, second guest, big fucking stuff. Like if you're,
we believe in you though.
You can
am
either
I the second guest? I thought you had other people.
No, it's just been you and Kyle. So you can either be the best guest that we've ever had today, or the worst guest that we've ever had.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty binary, mate.
Yeah. And the reason that we chose Jacob to be here for this episode is because we had recently watched Diary of a Wimpy Kid 3, Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days, when coming down from mushrooms.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the way to watch it. I appreciated it unlike any other viewing of this film. And I feel like I understood it quite well. And I think that Jacob understood it as well.
Oh, yeah.
On a different level, much transcendent of what we previously thought of it.
Oh yeah.
So what's your relationship with Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days, Jacob?
Well, as like everyone our age, we all read the books. So I read the books way back when. I probably watched it when it came out. I don't remember exactly, but the last time I watched it other than that night was like when I was a kid. So, watching it now, then, like, in retrospect, it's, like, completely different film. When you watch it as a kid, it's like, oh, yeah, I identified with Greg. I wanted to play video games all day. I wanted to be a little shit, because I was a little shit.
Yeah.
And now it's, like, you watch it and you're like, wow, I was such a little shit.
Can you guys recall the controversy of seeing this trailer and going, Dog Days? Where's the last straw?
Yeah.
Where is this movie? And then just feeling so fucked over by the movie industry for skipping one of the books and not understanding the concept.
I was pretty upset. I remember thinking like, man, these studios are stupid, man. I should be working for them. Because they clearly do not know how to count the entries.
Yeah.
They skipped over one.
What's
going on? I mean, I wasn't really complaining. Last Straw was always one of my least favourite of the original, original 6 books and all that. It was always one of my least favourites, so I wasn't... So, I don't know. I wasn't too upset if they skip something like actually skipping over Dog Days or... not giving me Cabin Fever, because I thought they were going to give us Cabin Fever back when I was young. And then we never got the Cabin Fever movie.
I love that I legitimately thought that they would have just forgot it. Thinking that a movie studio would have just forgot to put another one there.
They're simple folk.
Yeah, exactly. How did they forget this? Not that it was intentional or anything.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely in comparison to the last two films that we've spoken about, is this one definitely has a closer sort of lining up with Greg being a teenager. Like he's entering his teens, and that is what this movie seems to be about.
Oh yeah, they hit you on the head with that straight away with the goddamn voice crack.
Oh my god, yeah. Right away. Even like him right away getting uncomfortable by people's bodies at the public swimming pool is very like becoming a teenager, being uncomfortable with the human body as a whole, because you don't really have a grasp on your changing body and everything. So, teen awkwardness is what this one seems to be sort of about in the realm of like what sort of archetype Greg's character is feeling.
Yeah, and they decided to kind of put in the father issues from Last Straw in there as well, just for a little extra nugget of conflict, I guess.
Yes, yeah. But with like you can tell immediately that about his teen awkwardness that he's just so uncomfortable about everything around him.
Yeah.
Everything makes him so fucking uncomfortable. And what is so cool about that is that you think back to being like year 7 or year 8, and you're like, oh yeah, everything made me uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, everything was just gross and repulsive. I mean, look, I don't blame him for being all like wigged out at the pool and all that. Like, man, he like pissed in the pool, chucked it in his face. Like,
that would probably annoy me a bit at this age, to be honest.
Oh, dude, if that happened to me at this age, I'd bloody deck the little kid. I'd smack him right in the face. I would.
Are you supporting of this decking little kids, Jake?
Probably not that far, but I could see the reasoning.
I would give him a big telling off.
I'd curse him. I'd curse him out. I'd put a curse on him. Yeah.
But he's just a little kid. He's got so many years left. Like a curse on you is like,
Well,
10 years you'll be dead. Curse on him, he's got like way more time.
Which makes the curse all that more powerful.
Yeah.
Is it really worth that though?
Maybe have a curse come up on. Maybe like just the curse just come out of nowhere in like 10 years or so.
Yeah, it's a delayed curse.
Exactly.
Set a memo on your phone. Make sure to curse.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go visit them in like 10 years. I'm like crippled or some shit, and I like have to drag my ass over there. And it's like, hey, yeah, curse is coming. Don't worry, Manny.
In all the excitement, I forgot to even like introduce the movie. So this is like the 3rd entry in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid franchise, of course.
You did introduce the movie.
And I have to say, here's the trailer.
Ah, there we go. I knew we were forgetting something.
I can't believe it's so crowded here. Maybe we should come back.
How about never? Does never sound good?
Boys, a family swim is a great way to kick off the summer.
Let's not forget, opening day is free.
That was impressive.
Pretty high.
Are you talking to yourself?
No,
You're talking to yourself because you're scared.
I'm not scared.
Then go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Hi, Dad.
One thing that's also developed a lot in Greg's character since the last film is that he's now an epic gamer.
Oh, yeah. They touched on this in the first 2 ones, but this one, he goes hard. The scene where he's playing Twisted Wizard, he necks down a full 6-pack of Coca-Cola, I think within like, I'd say like 2-3 hours maybe?
Well, he's
weak numbers, mate. Weak numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, mate. Me in grades, like when I watched this when I was, like, I think in grade 6 or grade 5, I was like, "That's disgusting, mate. That's pathetic." I was necking down like more than that shit in like an hour. Come on.
Well, I think it was like 8 hours because of his dad being at work, right?
And
He just
maybe,
set the clock for how long his dad
plus,
was at work.
like travel time, like
I
9
guess,
hours.
Yeah, 9 hours. But
Damn.
he fucking went for it, man.
Yeah,
This whole
Greg goes hard.
This whole movie is just a gamer moment. Like, it is just a full-on gamer moment.
Yeah, we really get the tone set when he's fantasizing about Holly gaming with him, and then Holly's like, "Wow, Greg, you're an amazing gamer." I know. It's like, wow, that's what I want to hear my love interest say. Yes, please.
That's really what you picture as a 13-year-old, what you want a girl to say to you.
Oh,
Yeah. 'Cause I remember when we were watching the movie, it was like when you're like that age, when you're just like barely 13, you don't really know like what you want at that age. Like, I want to hold the girl's hand. I want her to kiss me on the cheek.
Yeah.
Why did you call me a gamer?
So the most you can really think of, like the most romantic setting, is just playing video games with them.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I like video games. If she liked video games, then she will like me.
It's perfect.
Exactly.
There we go.
Yeah. And that's all that you can, because you know what you want in like a friend, sort of like someone with like a common interest, something you can do together, and you don't know what you want in a romantic partner besides that.
Besides being
a girl.
an epic gamer. Sorry, a girl. Yes.
Yeah.
My bad, I forgot.
Gamer girls is what all the boys want.
Yeah, clearly, Greg is loves that kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So this whole movie is just like what it's focusing on is that being a teen is fucking weird, and yet it being a quite restricted portrayal of it, I think it conveys this idea quite well.
Yeah.
Because of how unsure Greg is at the moment. Like I mentioned in the past podcast that he's balancing between he's between being an adult and a child, and not quite either one of them yet. But this is more sort of him being face to face with his more mature adult side.
Yeah.
And with a little bit more sort of deeper emotions going on, I think, surrounding him.
Yeah, nah, like what you said before, despite kind of the limitations on how to really portray a teenager in a kid's movie, because obviously they're not going to pull something out of they're not going to have the same tone or story style as say something like In-Betweeners or Euphoria. I wish.
Greg Heffley in Euphoria. Jesus.
Oh my god.
No, but despite them having the limitation of not being able to do stuff like that, it is conveyed in a pretty I'd say serviceable, better than serviceable way, because serviceable seems like I'm kind of not giving it enough credit, you know what I mean?
It just does the job.
Exactly. It captures a lot of kind of the stress and anxieties that a young teenager would face, kind of, you know? It's trying to impress this girl, maybe even sprinkling white lies to impress this girl, or or get your family off your back just so you can just have the best summer ever, kind of meme. It's I feel like the film, it captures that pretty. It captures that pretty decently.
I think that Greg has definitely developed in this one to the point that he is a pathological liar.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. There's gonna be a diagnosis later on in life.
Which do you agree with this, Jacob, that it's super cringy because we were all there?
Oh yeah.
Just lying about things that we didn't have to lie about.
Exactly. It was just insane shit. You just lie about movies you watched.
Oh,
or
yeah.
fucking games you played. Just cause you just want it to seem cool, or you wanted things to just work, but you're a kid, so of course you haven't done half the shit you say.
Yeah. For example, Greg lies to Holly about playing tennis and all that, and it just makes him then he just ends up making an ass out of himself when it could have been just so much more simple. It's just be oh yeah, I haven't played tennis before, but it's no, he wants to do that whole thing where it's seems cool to impress this girl. And then just, at the end of the day, just makes himself look like a complete asshat and all that.
With Greg, being this pathological liar, I think that it just almost, uncovers this repressed guilt of just, I would think of these lies that I made up as a teenager that I'm just why did you say that?
Yeah.
There's no point. It would be easier if you just said the truth.
Yeah.
And then,
oh, yeah.
Fucking all the time.
Yeah.
I went through that a bit too much during, my dog days, I guess, yeah. to incorporate the title.
Yeah, you never owned a dog. You were just lying about the dog.
Exactly, yeah.
These made-up pets.
Yeah.
One lie that I mentioned recently was that when I was younger, I used to tell people that I was allergic to dinosaurs, and I never had to really experience anything from that.
You're allergic to dinosaurs? What the hell?
Yeah,
that's fucking weird.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, I am.
So you even test that.
So yeah, that's the
crazy.
thing, is that it's never actually affected me because dinosaurs, they aren't around anymore. So you can't disprove me. You can't. You cannot disprove me.
No, true.
Yeah, you just have to sit back and take it. And what is the point of saying it's I could just imagine that my childhood self heard someone else saying that they were allergic to something and then getting immediately jealous of the limited attention that they would have gotten from that concept.
Absolutely. Happened to me as well. I said I was allergic to starfruit for no other reason that it was in so I think it was some show. A guy was allergic to starfruit, and that's just the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah.
What a fruit to be allergic to. Damn, man. How do you sleep at night knowing that you could not eat starfruit?
I don't think I've ever actually eaten starfruit anyway.
I've never seen a starfruit before, I don't think, apart from Plants vs. Zombies. So.
Well, Jacob could be allergic to it then.
Yeah,
the potential of it. I'm not lying yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Precisely.
You're just guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that it is.
50-50 chance. I'm just taking the right one.
Yeah, take it the right way.
I don't think I lied about any like food allergies or anything when I was young. But
do you think you've ever lied, Kane?
I lied I lied a lot when I was younger.
I don't know. I think he's lying.
Sorry guys. I've actually been very truthful. I'm like George Washington. I never tell a lie. Or was that Abe Lincoln? I don't fucking remember.
Some American guy.
It's some Yankee, some Yank. Nah,
some Yankee dude.
Love you Americans. But no. I remember like I lied. I took a bit of an extra step when it came to this lie. I'd make movie reviews of movies that I had never seen. And
really?
Yeah, some movie nerd. You didn't know this.
I didn't know that you'd never seen the Kane the movie nerd.
No, some of
isn't a movie nerd.
No, some of the movies that I reviewed I had not seen. Like what's a review that I did? Like Fantastic, never seen it, and I did a review for Fantastic.
Why the fuck did you do a review for? Why didn't you just do a review on a movie you'd seen?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why I did.
It would have just been easier to say.
I did one on what's it called? The Third Wave with the Fifth Wave with Chloe Grace Moretz, who was in the first starring Wimpy Kid movie, and I don't know why I just made a review of that. I genuinely do not understand why I faked a review.
Oh my god!
The Ant-Man review is legit though. I did review Ant-Man. I had actually seen.
Out of all the things, I would be surprised if that was the lie.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
We get uncovered that you haven't watched any of these movies that we've spoken about.
I have never watched
your movie collection is just a sham. It's all empty boxes.
Yeah.
Oh,
You've printed out the covers from Google Images.
I mean, hey, some Blu-ray case. I actually did find a set of Blu-ray cases that were without their discs, and I just put them in my Blu-ray shelf. It was maybe a collection of like 25.
Covering up the lie with a half-truth.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was. There was like 25 to 30 Blu-ray cases that were just empty cases. I just wanted it to make my collection look bigger. I'm just getting exposed. I'm just exposing myself right now.
Well, what was your fake opinion on Fantastic?
Oh no, yeah,
I hated it. That was like because like everyone else hated it. So.
You took the dominant ideology of it.
Yeah, precisely. Whoa. Yeah, I could watch it right now and maybe I might end up loving it. I highly doubt it, but you know, men can dream. Men can dream. You know, I like the first two Fantastic Four movies that like the old ones. I like those ones.
Oh, you were talking about Fantastic Four the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about like some other film that had a similar name.
No, I just called it Fantastic because like that's like what the film community calls it because they have the 4 in it.
Yeah.
There's that stupid thing. What they should have done with Scream 5, they should put the 5 in the title instead of just calling it Scream 2022. You know.
So listeners, that is exactly what we're talking about. Is that Kane has seen so many movies and he decides to review ones that he has not seen. This is an example of the teenage fucking lies that for no reason other than just to lie. You do not know why you do it. Oh my god!
It was something else. It was something else. My goodness.
What a time
Now keep in mind, I am honest about what films I watch now. Like on my Letterboxd, I'm very honest about all the films that I've seen. They have all been films that I have seen.
I don't know. There's a pretty bad precedent here, so I don't know.
Well, look, man. Old me doesn't define new me. Come on, man. That's in the past, bro.
So back onto Greg.
Onto the other liar.
So he's self-obsessed once again. But I reckon in this one, in a more insecure way. Where in the first two, no questioning of himself being bad. He has full faith in that he's good and that he's the best in what he's doing. Where in this one, he's self-obsessed, I think, more on like a rejection of being a bad self. Like it's more conscious. I think he's more questioning that he's being bad, but then everything that he's doing is in rejecting, no, I'm not bad. So at least there's some sort of, it's this development of guilt and sort of trying to reject that guilt in your self-obsession.
Yeah, definitely shame is like a big thing with like him and his dad.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like he doesn't want to like feel shame in front of his dad with like working and like the camping and all that kind of stuff. Which I mean, when you're 13 makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's such a universal, I think, man experience that like being a child and like developing into a man and then feeling insecure about your masculinity around your father, like no matter sort of no matter what your relationship is with them, like and like the shame that like playing video games in front of your parents brings for some reason that it's like, oh god, do my parents think I'm a nerd? They're like, I remember like as a kid in the school holidays, I would play video games all day. And then when my parents are coming home, I would be like, fuck, they're going to see that I play video games.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to, like, practically beg, like, because we kept our Xbox 360 in the living room, and I'd always, like, try to beg my mum to be like, please, can I just bring it into my room, or, like, Nicholas's room? I don't want you guys to watch me. I don't want you guys to see me gaming.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
the simultaneous, like, empty pride of being a gamer and the shame of being a gamer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't really have that, mainly because when I was like 13, I just played all my games on my computer, so I was always in my room. But like, one thing that I could never do in like the lounge room was like watch anime, which completely fair enough. Like that, I would have hated to be caught watching anime at like the worst time.
Oh, yes.
When I was 13, I didn't watch very highbrow things.
Like, in the very limited anime that I have seen and watched, I catch myself justifying me watching anime to my parents if they'll see me watching it.
Yeah.
So this one I've heard is really, really good and very, very deep. And this is an exception, I swear, guys.
Yeah, because as if your parents are gonna like start bullying you, call you a weeaboo and all that. Like, you fucking loser! Look at you.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. Bloody heck.
What sort of animes have you like actively been like tried to avoid having people around you exposed to as well?
Even like Fully Cooley, which is like really good and like probably highbrow and like a kind of lowbrow kind of way. I would not watch that in front of my parents. No fucking way. Because it's like also about like a kid going through puberty and there's like a lot of sexual themes and everything. Which in like a regular movie, completely fine. My parents could watch it with me and I wouldn't give a shit. But like since it's anime, there's just like this whole nother level of like,
shame.
Oh, he's into this, is he?
Yeah.
Guys,
cartoons.
Well, we gotta start again. All right. Bloody heck.
And then, just go to the other twin. They're the new hoe.
Yeah. And what I find really interesting about that, and all this like shame about like trying to protect gaming or like certain elements of your life that may not be masculine and anime from your parents, is that there's a big chance that your parents do not actually care. And do not judge that much or nearly as much as the shame and insecurities that one feels about it, protecting it. Like, I know that my parents do not care if I'm playing video games all day. That, like, when I was younger, they wouldn't even care because I was doing all productive stuff whenever it warranted it. But still, that shame is there. And like, this is like, Greg, a lot of his insecurities are very empty and, like, unjustified around him, where the real thing that he should be ashamed of and where he does feel shame is when he gets caught out in his lies. Like, that's the only thing that he should be actually ashamed of.
Which thankfully he does feel like, regret and shame for it, but it's just like, man, if you're worried about feeling that, just, I don't know, like, you would rather feel, like, the regret and shame of, like, telling your dad, like, oh, I don't have a job, I'm not working at the country club, rather than, like, him finding out the lie and then, like, having it spiral and be worse and then be like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed, because, like, that's just a whole lot of worse feeling.
Yeah, because also, we all must have a memory, right, of getting caught out in a lie when we're younger, and just to the point where you cannot lie anymore to get out of it, and you just feel stuck.
Oh, yeah.
You're just stuck with your shame, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and then you just get grilled to shit, like, definitely, No,
it's just, not even just getting grilled by, but just being stuck in your own head about the whole thing, like, I can never make this up to my parents.
Oh, man,
I can never be better than this.
I have failed as a son.
Yeah.
That's what was going through Greg's head when Frank found out about the country club lie.
Yes, yeah. So Frank is in this so much more.
The Zahn, God bless him.
Oh, good man, Zahn. Freaking, he is a highlight in this movie.
Oh, definitely.
The
added screen time really, Frank's added screen time definitely benefits the film and, like, just Frank in general, like, his character in general. Because, like, he's good in the first two, but, like, really get a lot more. He gets a lot more to do in this one, you know.
In the last two, he's just sort of there as a bit of color and like add sort of context to the world. In this one, he's like a legit. He interacts directly with the story, and who doesn't want more Zahn?
Like, you can never have enough Zahn in your film, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
why Tall Girl is a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah, he's in Tall
Yeah,
Girl,
Steve,
yeah.
yeah, Steve Zahn's in Tall Girl, and it's like, instead of like just being insane in that movie, because I've actually never seen Tall Girl. I know literally everything
I've
that
seen
happens.
it like 5 times.
I've watched so many reviews for it, but I've never seen the film. Instead of from what I know, it's like instead of being crazy, he's like kind of insensitive to his daughter.
No, it's really funny. It's
one
of the best parts of the film,
I
for sure.
I definitely understand that. And then there's also like there's several shots where he's shot like he's in a Mr. Robot episode because it's like weird angles, like weird uncomfortable angles and all that.
Yeah.
But anyways, Tall Girl. We'll wait till the trilogy comes out for that.
Jacob's a big defender of Tall Girl. Do you think?
I don't blame him.
Do you think Tall Girl is better or worse than this movie?
I think they have very similar themes.
Oh, okay.
I would call them probably companion pieces.
Really? Oh, all right.
Definitely dealing with someone's internalized shame about something about themselves. That's typically not like something that needs to be like shamed about.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the tall girl having such a complex about being tall, despite it like it's if you take the film as it's like not really meant to be something that she's got a complex about, it's much better than if you take it at face value and it is something that she's supposed to have a complex about. But yeah, it's people only really make fun of her for being tall twice in the film. One right at the start and then one like 5 minutes later, and then it barely ever comes up again. Like it comes up like a few times, like when the mean girl like does a prank call. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure she's in tall.
This man's just so hyped to talk about.
Oh man, you put me on a tangent.
Oh god,
we invited him on the wrong podcast. We should have invited him on the Tall Girl podcast.
If you do a Tall Girl episode,
we have to wait till the trilogy comes out, man.
Jacob feels very connected to this movie because he is quite tall. He's quite a tall man.
I am the same height as Tall Girl. She's
really?
6'1". Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay.
No wonder you're so into it. You understand her struggles. Exactly. Being the tall boy. Yeah.
I'm not even that tall.
To the tall boy in a short world.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, let's reel it back, boys.
Also, Steve Zahn, I know from a movie called Sahara, which is like an action movie from the mid 2000s.
Is that one with Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, it's got freaking Matthew McConaughey in it.
I've heard of the title. I do not know anything about this.
It looks so mid 2000s action film.
Was it just like grey? Oh no, it's brown.
No, it's
point.
brown.
Yeah.
It's very brown at that point. I'm going to show you this and you're going to know exactly what it is.
I think like mid 2000s action films might be my least favourite kind of genre of any kind of film from any kind of decade.
The mid 2000s just kind of sucked.
When the mid 2000s when the mid 2000s like got really really bad, that's when it could be like funny, like something like say like The Room or Rob Schneider's The Hot Chick.
The Room came out in the 2000s?
Yeah, it was 2003.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
you didn't know
that?
The 90s. Really? I mean, it looks like it came out in the 90s.
Yeah, that looks not very good. It looks like they're just writing off The Mummy.
Yeah, pretty much. It looks very, very like that.
Wait, Rose, let me see.
Let me look at some.
Oh wow, yeah, that's not look good.
With Matthew McConaughey looking all fucking high and mighty with his arms crossed.
Yeah, God
I'm
bless.
in this movie.
Oscar winner, right? Future Oscar winner, right there.
Yeah,
I could see him winning an Oscar.
He did win an Oscar
for what?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
I've never watched it. No.
Me neither, but like apparently he was good in it. So
I mean,
like,
I've just seen really Dazed and Confused and Interstellar, and that's it.
I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. I've just seen bits and pieces.
You literally just said you saw it, and then you just said you didn't.
Well, actually, I wasn't expecting Rhys the follow-up question to be like, Kane, have you seen it?
Yeah,
I could have gone away with it too if it weren't for you meddling podcasters.
This must be one of those empty Blu-ray cases you have.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wish I had the Blu-ray case. Sadly, not.
Yeah. You know, the only place that I was ever able to find that movie was on Crackle.
Crackle?
Which is like Sony's. Yeah. It's one of Sony's streaming services, which is free in Australia, and it's terrible.
Oh yeah.
It is. It only has the bare fucking minimum movie. It's like Tubi.
Yeah.
It's like Tubi.
Tubi had Basket Case at least.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah, so that's alright.
It has very, very strange catalogue.
Yeah, nah.
So speaking of clubs, so a lot of this movie takes place in a country club.
Yeah.
So this whole country club living scenario supports the whole upper class narrative that we've been saying that we've been saying this franchise has been peddling the whole time. Is that it's so normalized? Yeah, this like everyone is fucking loaded in this movie.
Yeah,
is Greg's family loaded?
They live in a fucking huge house.
Yeah,
and
but like,
they have a boat.
but like that's the movies.
That's their norm.
That's the movie. But like that's what like the movies are saying. Like that is just the average American family. When it's like no, that this house is massive. You can afford a boat, a van, like all this crap.
They
like,
are pretty well then.
And
yeah,
and it does, and it normalizes the whole country club living of Rowley, right?
Yeah,
it does.
It's just like we go to the country club all the time. Do you want to come? Like it's very very normalized.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh, it might just be because we don't really have country clubs here.
Not really. Yeah.
None of our family could afford a country
club.
No way.
Yeah, Mr. Jefferson can though. Like, we don't know what Mr. Jefferson's up to in the background of these movies.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, maybe we do.
So Mr. Jefferson we see a little bit of in the past movies, but he's really we hear him speak a bit in this one. His mustache gets center frame.
Yeah, he gets a bit angry, just like in the other ones.
Did you guys notice that Rowley just has a different mum in this movie?
Yeah, I didn't notice. Till you pointed this out when we were rewatching Dog Days for the podcast. Is that the actress that plays Rowley's mum is a completely different actress to who played his mum in the first movie.
And they don't. There's no notice taken to this.
They don't address it. They don't do any. Like they haven't really had any like cast changes and all that, apart from getting rid of the Chloe Grace Moretz and all that. And yeah, this is like the second example of like weird like dropping an actor, but this time like recasting. And they don't explain it. Now, but I have a theory, right? I have a theory. So, in the first movie, there's one scene where Greg and Rowley make up a made-up language. And what they say goes as follows. Your dad pa, smell pa, like pa, woman pa. Mr. Jefferson looks back. He does not look too happy. You never see Mr. Jefferson or Rowley's mum in the same room. Now, I'm thinking they got some marital issues, alright? And when he says, your dad smells like a woman, now, why would he be saying that? Now, my theory is that Mr. Jefferson smells like a different woman, some different perfume. The woman from the third movie, who is Rowley's quote-unquote mom. Now, I think in between, I reckon it'd probably be in some point during the Roderick Rules era.
We don't see much of Mr. Jefferson there, so
we do not see Rowley's mum at all. Now I'm thinking we see Mr. Jefferson a little bit. We do not see Rowley's mum at all.
Mr. Jefferson is at the talent show at the end of number 2, but the mum is not there. Rowley's mum is not.
Okay. I can't believe I forgot about that. The mum's not there, so they must have divorced or something more sinister halfway, like during that era. Then in the third one, there's just a new woman, no explanation, and Rowley's just cool with it and all that. And does he call his new mom at all in the movie?
Oh yeah.
Okay. No, sorry, I forgot because I was hoping for some reason I was hoping that like he just didn't address her that way. Oh nah, am I reaching? No, I'm not.
I think they gave you all the puzzle pieces together.
Exactly.
Who could fault you for putting them together?
Exactly. I put it all together and I figured it out. All right.
All right.
Mr. Jefferson's a monster.
He is a really strange man, this Mr. Jefferson.
Awful actor as well.
He is probably one of the worst actors in this like trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Just noticeably, like, there's a reason why he does not have many lines, and each time that he has one, you go, yep. Shouldn't it happened?
Yeah, not too great. Also, you like how he had a little bitch fit over getting billed like $200 over smoothies from Greg.
Oh, he is a real sensitive man. I wouldn't say for that, but because he didn't get the reassurance from Greg when they were playing that card game, the compliment game.
God, yeah.
And he starts to get like visibly angry because Greg can't think of a compliment about him.
It's like, I don't think you've had one positive scene together or even a positive experience. So like, dude, you need to chill. Do you need a hug, Mr. Jefferson? Was the divorce that tough on you?
Not getting this child's reassurance is a big fucking deal to this guy. Why?
There's something odd going on with Mr. Jefferson.
I mean, it's like you see Greg, and he's like the worst person you've ever met, and he can't even bring himself. He thinks he's below you.
Yeah.
Oh no, above you.
Yeah, he thinks that he's above you. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine how that must feel.
True.
Very awful.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if everyone around Greg sees Greg as this terrible person as well.
Oh, it's only natural.
Yeah.
I certainly hope so.
I reckon that a lot of the stuff, little things that he's doing, his little quirks, I feel like would just go unnoticed because that is basically like everyone. If what they're trying to say is that every kid his age is like that to some degree.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's all these internal battles and very few external ones. Like it's his internal battles, which then him dealing with will create the external battles from him lying and hiding and sneaking and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, the deepness of fucking Greg.
Deep analysis of Greg Heffley, a character study.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my new uni project right there.
Greg gets covered in milk in every movie.
When does he get
When
covered?
the fuck does he
when
get
does he get covered in milk in
milk?
this one?
He gets covered in milk in this one when I can't remember, but he does. He does get covered in milk in this movie.
I hope you're right, Rhys. I hope you're right. Because like I know like Roderick spits milk on him in the second one.
Milk gets spit on him in the second one. In the first one, he pours milk on himself.
Yeah, he waterboards himself with milk. Yeah.
And then in this one, when does he get milk?
Milk. Greg and milk.
Gets milked.
Greg
he gets milked though.
Yeah, he gets milked.
Greg definitely gets milked.
Yeah, the Zahn milks Greg.
Is it the dog? Is it a dog scene? Maybe.
Maybe it is with the dog the dog roast scene.
I don't think. No, there wasn't any milk in that scene.
Oh, okay.
No, there was.
I would know.
You're on milk watch.
Yeah. There was only dog slobber, and then Greg and Frank are so cruel that after the dog eats the bloody ham, they put it back, and then they make the family eat the rest of it.
And this is probably the first scene that Roderick is definitely high in.
Oh yeah. He's so cooked.
When he's eating the roast, he's just like, whatever you did to this one is amazing.
Someone's had a bit of the wacky backy. Oh wow, love that. We love our favourite little loaded diaper stoner.
But back to this Rowley family trip. I think that we've all sort of been there as a kid on a trip with another family, just wanting to leave, and just realising the incompatibility of like how, or just the differences between the way that your family will live versus others, and just like, man, I need to get out of here, and just assuming that the worst possible thing is also happening away from where you are. And it really, like, this highlights just that powerlessness that you feel as a child. Where if you're in an uncomfortable situation like this, that also is like a commitment when on a trip, like and having to wait until the trip ends, then and not being able to get out is so frustrating.
Oh, it's drowning almost. Like as a kid, it's like it's almost drowning, like that horrible feeling, you know.
You get this like existential dread that you feel like I'm going to be here forever. This is my life now.
Yeah, I'm trapped. This is my purgatory, right? In my own personal hell.
Yeah.
Oh, we love that.
So what big lies is it that Greg makes through this film? Because he lies about his having a job.
Yeah.
He lies about what else is there?
They don't really. He lies to Holly about the tennis thing. He lies to, at the very start when Holly's asking like, what are you going to be doing on the summer holidays? He's lying about like all the good charity stuff he's going to do instead of saying that he was going to play Twisted Wizard all day.
He also lies saying that he's Rowley Jefferson and
yes, he commits identity theft.
And then the other dude as well.
And then the other dude to sneak into the country club.
He lies about a Loaded Diaper being like a proper band.
But that was a good lie though.
But that was
a good lie because he made it for a good wingman for his brother.
That was his first. So that is his like the same resolution as every single one. That's his first
that's his
selfless lie.
That's his one selfless act.
Yeah, his first selfless act in the film.
He's entitled to one per film.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. He's more so selfless act was like when he was sabotaging the other camps, the other scout groups' tents and all that. Because like I call it selfless because he's trying to defend his dad's honor.
Oh yeah.
I call it
Fair.
selfless.
Selfless enough.
Yeah.
Close enough.
It's not completely surrounding himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's good. Look, it's Greg Heffley. It's good enough for us.
It's a big thing for Greg.
Yeah, exactly.
to actually do that.
Yeah, he's only got one per movie.
Yeah. I know.
Well, actually, in this one it was
Yeah,
one.
it's two.
This one was two actually, 1.5. Because I don't want to be generous to Greg.
Jacob and I actually went camping for the first time ever. Well, me for the first time ever, not that long ago, and it was so freeing.
Oh,
it
my
was
goodness.
the freaking best. Just having these like 3.5 days of having no responsibilities. It felt like or very limited responsibilities to your normal mundane life.
Yeah, because I did all the driving.
Yeah. Yeah, to just be driven around the whole time.
Life is good.
Great.
You know, Jacob's just hunched over the wheel.
Exactly.
His knuckles are all
I was
white.
ready to pass out a few times.
God. How many hours do you think you drove all up?
Well, I did almost 800 kilometers.
Wow.
So it was average at 100 kilometers an hour. 8 hours.
Yeah, I could see you guys on like snap maps.
more.
You guys were,
It would have been more.
You guys
It would
were
have been more for
pretty
sure.
far up. I saw from
We
the
did.
We did
snap
go
maps.
pretty
I
far.
was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's cool. I really want to go camping at some point. I just want to get a car. I just probably need a car first.
We were going to go to a place called Mount Howard, but then the place seemed like it was going to be on fire, so we sort of
she's just gone
dodged
anyways.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
get a nice tan going. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, the fire was resolved by the time we would have been there.
Okay, well that's
so-
good that you didn't go then, because then there's no epic attraction. You know?
Exactly, yeah. What's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
Precisely. You
So-
missed out on the hot spot, you know.
Yeah, and we did as good as all these people, all these scouts did on camp. Yeah.
You didn't have to sabotage any other camp groups, I'm assuming, right?
No, we were all by ourselves, so that was fine.
Okay, good. You didn't have to defend your honor or like your parents' honor or anything.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
And it was also a trip too, where as all of us being adults, if any of us wanted to leave, we could probably just say, "Yeah, it's time to go home now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Debatable, but I mean, like, how the fuck are you gonna get home?
Just walk
Yeah.
Like, you're a rower.
No, I mean like that we could have.
Catch a V1. Why not?
You know,
just
at least
hitchhike. It's
I feel
alright.
like we have our agency enough though to communicate with each other. Like as a child at someone else's family trip, asking to go home. No way that one would have
that's
the
a-
confidence
Oh
to
yeah,
have
that's a
that.
no-go, yeah.
No
When
way.
you're young, it's just like, I can't do it, man. That's scary, and I feel bad if I do it.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays, it's just like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
Can I go home? Oh, no, not even can I go home. I want to go home. I'm going home. So,
Yeah, you can just leave locations and
Yeah.
go home.
Yeah, just walk home all the way from like fucking up where you guys were. just go on a nice walk.
But then Greg does he has no shame though using Mr. Jefferson's email address and laptop to send out cries for help.
Okay, well that
I mean, fair enough. Like, I've been in situations where it's like texting my mum, be like, I want to go home. Please pick me up."
Yeah, he's in. Well, I mean, look, I'll defend him. He was in panic mode and all that, but like, dude,
Oh, yeah.
that was just such an idiot move setting. Like, bro.
I mean, did you see how they ate that ice cream? He was next.
Okay, yeah. I don't like. That's why
Yeah.
I don't blame him for being all panicky and all that. I like that would have been my last straw, seeing that bloody ice cream, and then that one eerie shot of Rowley just being like, "We like sharing. It's more fun that way." I don't know why that shot of Rowley talking and defending the sharing always rubs me the wrong way. It always, it makes me feel like I'm in some sort of like fucking, I don't know, like Gaspar Noel film, Gaspar Noel, or however the guy that directed Irreversible. I feel like I'm watching something by him, like just some disturbing shit.
You can definitely see his creative influence in that one shot.
Man.
One thing that I thought was fantastic about this movie was the Spag Union stuff. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But it was Spag. Oh, is that the camping stuff?
The military school that
Yeah, the military.
Frank
Oh,
said.
yeah, that
Yeah.
shit was so funny.
That was actually really funny.
That was pretty good stuff, yeah.
Very good commentary on like parental control, like showing the ankle tracker on one of the
that
students and
poor
everything.
kid, man.
Was great, which like would have just gone over like kids' heads, right? Like that whole sort of video would have been for parent amusement.
I mean,
it would have been like, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah,
Stuff,
I got
but
the
like,
j-
it would have been mostly for
I
parents.
got it kind of when I was young, because like I was familiar with like I remember I was terrified of the idea of military school, because I watched that one episode of The Simpsons where like Bart and Lisa go to military school, and the idea of that shit scared me to death. Like I don't know why, just the idea of going to military school was so scary to me.
Terrifying concept.
I don't think my parents would have ever done that. They're too much of a public school diehards to let that happen.
Yeah, my parents, my mum won't do that, and fucking my dad can't be doing that.
Another thing that you got to think about military school, that shit would be expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. So not like like parents must truly believe in the process that it will make you a better person.
A lot of the time it's like a generational thing. Like the dad would have gone there or something like that.
Or like, you know, or like their relatives, or like, you know, like their parents and like would have come from like a military background, or like had relatives that were in military background, so then thus having them believe that, like, yes, the system works and all that. Let me send my kids here to discipline them. Honestly, be cheaper just to send your kids out to actual war, you know? That way, that'll teach them some morals, I'll tell you what.
Oh, well, you're not wrong. Would probably be cheaper.
It would be cheaper.
Soldiers,
Yeah.
I mean,
the return trip will be a bit more expensive when he's coming home in a body bag, or a, yeah, I couldn't think of anything else funny.
Wheelchair or something?
No, I was going to think of something funny, like blown to bits and all that, like, I don't know, like in a doggy bag or something, but I couldn't think of anything.
It was it was nice that Greg had this paranoia about Spag Union, and then at the end,
you're going.
At the end, Frank revealed that it's like he doesn't want to send him there.
Yeah,
like he doesn't want him gone. Like he actually does. He does care about him. He wouldn't just send him off.
That was such a nice scene, man. That got me very happy watching.
Yeah, that and like when Roderick was like, yeah, well, I'm not going to let you get sent there. Like how they got kind of unified. Like, yeah, this is just a bad thing.
That was nice. I like that. I like that. You know, it just has them being a proper brotherly dynamic in this one. Like, yeah, Roderick's still a dickhead to Greg and all that, but it's like, yeah, they're acting like proper brothers now, I reckon. Like, it reminds me a lot of, like, yeah, say, like, me and my brother or something, or, like, you know, you know, you guys and your siblings and all that.
I don't have brothers.
Well,
it comments on a very preteen angst of feeling the whole world is against me.
Oh yeah.
Everyone wants to screw me over in one way or another, and then you get this like moment of clarity when you realize, no, people are looking after you. You do have people that love you, that are looking after you, and they don't want to send you to do anything that you don't want. Like for the most part, is that like most parents will, if a child really sells to them, I don't want to do this. This is something that I have no interest in whatsoever. Then, you know, those parents will potentially listen and go, yeah, you don't have to.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the parents.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because, like, I can think of parents of, like, a guy that we know that looks a bit like Rhys, who's, like, who are really nuts about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, real, like, making him do VC training in year 7 and shit like that.
Do you think that this person, though, would have ever spoke up and gone, I don't want to do that?
But that's, like, half the thing. It's, like, he would have been, like, conditioned into it,
basically. Yeah, probably. But it's nice to know that, at least for Greg's emotional arc, it's that he is reminded that, you know, you do have people that will listen to you and will care for you. And yeah, this father-son resolution at the end is that, like, after Greg tries to stand up for his dad, like, tries to stand up for his honor, and then Greg's dad does the same. He stands up for him when the other camp leader is there, like, yelling at Greg. Then all that they both need is reassurance that they do want to look after one another. So that's nice for there, and that's all that Greg wanted was to see that his dad would stand up for him, and he did at the end, which sort of like allows him to let go of a lot of those masculine.
It's a very cathartic kind of resolution to that story for Greg, I reckon.
Yeah,
and like it's good stuff. Honestly, it's good stuff, mate.
And then the other good thing that Greg does in this is freaking wingmanning Roderick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he
what
does.
a legend.
And like you can tell, like Roderick's like seems genuinely grateful and all that. Like it's nice to see.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he sees in Heather Hills.
Oh gosh,
but you know, some guys are just into girls that treat them like shit or like ignore them. So like
we were talking about before. I don't know if you guys probably would have mentioned in the previous episode, but like, chicks would have loved Roderick.
Yeah, I was literally talking about in the last one that, like, how was Roderick not pulling many girls?
He was in a band. He was, like, cool.
He's got that Green Day hair. He's got the eyeliner.
Oh, yeah, this was, like, in the time of My Chemical Romance. He was there.
Was My Chemical Romance bigger than, like, the early 2010s?
It was just when... It might have been just a little bit before, because, like, Justin Bieber's Baby was big.
Yeah.
So it would have been, like, a few years before would have been My Chemical Romance. Maybe just missed out.
Because in this one, in the third one, he has, like, the long, kind of shaggy, greasy hair, looking like looking like someone from, like, The Strokes or something.
He wears eyeliner, for fuck's sake.
I know.
And then then he has like the Green Day look in that one, very like alt rocky kind of shit. And it's like, man, how are girls not less going crazy for this, you know?
No, he wants the challenge of Heather Hills.
I guess some people just like to challenge themselves, the thrill of the hunt, you know? God, that sounds like such a Dennis. Sounds like a Dennis Reynolds thing, my God.
What's so good about this lie that he does is that you can really see like the con man in Greg, like how he just comes up with this bullshit on the spot, and it's the first time that he's actually selling something for like a good cause.
Yeah, he's
and
finally putting his powers.
Yeah, I know, right? I just imagine that if we see Greg as an adult, he's just this sneaky Pete character that's just full on con man,
full car salesman.
I was gonna say, it'd be great as a car salesman.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness. He's gonna just be like one of them snake oil salesmen from like the 1800s. Just like, oh yes, you buy this, it cures death. Like, just Greg can use
cures death. That's good.
Look, it sounds far fetched, but Greg is a good manipulator. I'm sure he could twist the words around to make it seem legit. All right.
People seem to believe him though still, so strange.
Yeah. It's I guess like maybe they still need a bit more time to get in more in tune with his bullshit, I guess, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he's at that age where you're like, why would he lie?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you're right.
Holly's only known him for like, I'm going to assume like, because I think I want to.
It's too well. The last straw was when like they cut off basically.
Yeah,
because it would have been like
maybe like
3 years. 2 years.
Well, no, I think like the time jump from Roderick Rules to Dog Days might be a year. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, or maybe like a couple months, maybe?
They had to get them done quite quickly because they're like, oh shit, these kids age.
Yeah, these kids getting old. Greg's voice is fucked.
Yeah.
But no, like, look, like, as I was saying, Holly's only known him for 1 year. Holly still needs to get used to Greg's lying, scheming, manipulative ways, you know?
So Holly is like a big part of this movie, right?
Yeah.
And Holly's like there in the background in the last one, but nothing really amounts for it.
Nah.
It feels
it's
like
more so set up. I feel like she was more like just they put her in there just to set her up in the next one, kind of like how like an MCU film would like put in just a random character, do nothing with them, but just be like, oh, they're here. We're just we're gonna do something with them in the next film or some shit like that.
But because the introduction of Roderick Rules though is like the sort of interruption to the status quo is her.
Yeah.
Like as in, oh, she just moved here from wherever.
Yeah.
But then she done I think that they should have just introduced her in this film and then had the Holly Hills movie.
Yeah.
Because I think it feels just half baked in Roderick Rules.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they probably have to need it. They'd probably they'd probably need to delegate. Look, the only problem I could see is like they'd probably have to delegate a lot more time to like developing like Greg getting to know Holly and all that blah 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 blah. Because at least with this one, it's like they can just skip the whole, like, they don't have to do like the whole introductions again, like, because they already did that with Roderick Rules. However, like, it does feel half-baked, though, just in general, I guess. You know, actually, no, I'll let you go first, because I have a little thing, thing that I would have rather have seen, but I want you to talk first.
I think that I'm thinking the same thing, because my ideal probably ending for this is that I sort of wish that Holly and Greg didn't get together.
Yeah.
Because with that is that he's pretty shitty throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
And then just has one thing to redeem himself, and then he gets everything that he wanted in the first place.
Well, he doesn't really get with her in the end. He just like
they just grow closer.
They grow closer. Like they're just like in more situations. They become friends basically.
Yeah, but they hold hands.
No, they hold hands though. Because obviously they're not gonna like. Fuck.
Yes, it's in Euphoria, remember?
In Euphoria. So, and even like kissing feels like too mature for this.
Yeah.
So that was as far as it could have gone for them getting together. That's what it implies.
Yeah, even though like Greg does have like his shitty angle, like for the 3-film arc, he definitely like resolves a lot of his issues, or at least comes to terms with a lot of them.
Yeah, I feel like
I think though, what would have been more powerful is if he came to terms with his issues, but then he doesn't need a prize for that. It's like him coming to terms with his issues should be a reward enough.
Yeah, but it's like it's a kids. But at the end of the day, it is a kids movie.
I reject this.
They're always gonna do but like at the end of the day, they're always gonna do like the whole like the boy gets the girl kind of thing. Like every fucking kids movie that has a female love interest does. It's just a tired cliche and all that.
As much as I argue this now, probably if I left the cinema at 11 years old and they didn't get together, I would have argued the complete opposite.
I would have been fucking fuming.
I felt so liberated when I watched that ending when I was like 12, because I was like, yes, if Greg can get the girl, so can I.
Yeah.
And then it didn't end up happening.
What I think
for a couple years.
But this is the thing that happens with all these freaking kids movies is that they end up with either the love interest or like the friend who wasn't really the love interest but was the love interest all the time.
Greg gets with Patty.
I think it's more like with those kinds of movies, they're like a little bit older. They're like kind of like you're 15, 16. Greg is like 12 in this.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of like bit different.
Yeah, the more actual teenage demographic when like Greg's still like a preteen.
Yeah, because teenagers aren't watching this film.
Yeah, they should be, but
like
they
10
aren't.
to 12.
Yeah, not teenagers, adults like us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely like parents will be in the cinema for this one.
Yeah, but meanwhile, we chose to watch these movies because, and wait, do we regret it? Fuck no, we don't.
I think that what I like is when a film will go, you know what, you don't need that love interest. Like you don't need for that to work with. Sometimes it doesn't work out all the time.
Yeah.
Where I think that this sort of age gap. This sort of age demographic for a film will always get that sort of satisfying that they'll get that ending.
Yeah.
Instead of like all they would have to do to satisfy probably a child would be he doesn't get the girl and then Greg comes to terms with that and it's like it's okay and then is still having fun with his friends and his family and like him and his dad are all good and there's no more insecurities there. Yeah.
But the friend, like Greg doesn't actually have that many friends. Remember, like he has Rowley.
He has Rowley
for some of this film.
Yeah,
and then like I don't know, the Indian kid.
Yeah, he has a name, Sharad.
Sharad. Yeah.
Remember that name.
I did not remember at all.
Remember Sharad.
Fregley. I remember his name.
Yeah, Fregley, the kid, the traumatized.
Is that the white kid? Is that what you're gonna call him?
Yeah, the white boy, huh?
Like for as much as he he doesn't need the girlfriend. Really, he kind of does because he doesn't really have like close connections with anyone.
Maybe he just needed a friend.
Yeah.
Maybe that would have been nice.
I mean, he just wanted to play video games with her at the end of the day.
Yeah, but that's of course because they couldn't explore him discovering jerking off for the first time. Because that's also the age that he's probably at.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I want them to make a fourth movie. I want them to make a fourth movie, and I want him and Patty to get together, bro. I've been theorizing this. Patty hates Greg. Make the fourth film. Have them get to know each other a bit more. Have them get together. Put a love triangle in there. Greg, Holly, Patty. There we go.
Like, there's no love interest in the fourth film, is there?
There's no. I'm talking about.
I mean, apart from Digby, but
I'm not talking about that. That thing. I'm talking about like the Lost fourth film, kind of like Spider-Man 4, the film that never came to be.
Let's try and just like prolong the time that we are not talking about the long haul.
Yeah,
please. It's an inevitable discussion.
You're making me break out in a cold sweat.
It makes me do the same. I fucking hate
Well,
that
at least you're not talking about it.
Oh. We have to watch another hour of this. When you leave, we're watching it.
Oh my god! I will definitely be fucking out of here.
Yes.
Seeing that once in the last 5 years is enough.
Yeah, I'm not keen for it.
Yeah. With this movie, I could see myself watching again.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, I could watch the original trilogy.
Yeah, I could easily watch the original trilogy again.
Even though this is more of like a topic of discussion for the like review and ranking episode, this one and Roderick Rules, I think I could rewatch probably once every couple of months.
Yeah.
The first one I can go without watching for quite a bit.
I feel like
too straightforward.
Yeah.
I feel like I guess I agree. Yeah, I agree with like the last two and all. I could definitely rewatch them every like now and then. The first one I could still do, but maybe like I have less I have less of an inclination to watch that one. Like, I could still watch it every now and again, but I feel like I'd be gravitating towards that one a little bit less than the last two. Because the last two, like, they feel like actual films, I guess. The first one, well, like
Kino, they're
exactly, Kino cinema right there. No, the first one is I still really love, I really enjoy, but it kind of feels like just like a series of loose, like, short stories kind of tied together. It's just like events happening, and there's not really much of a story kind of tying it together. It's just Greg goes to middle school. Greg goes trick-or-treating. Greg cripples Rowley and then fucking takes credit for it.
Yeah. Wait, is that the first film?
In the first one, yeah. He's like, I broke his hand. Because, like, he's like, where's my credits?
I did it.
Yeah, there's no real, like, degree of, like... You could still watch it as, like, an adult or, like, a teenager, like, retrospectively and be like, oh, yeah, I used to be like that. But it's not really, like, the focus of that film.
No.
It's more just, like, a kid's film.
There's not too much, like, sort of focus on popularity in this one either. Like, it shows that he's gotten over that.
Yeah, it's just Greg and Rowley vibing for the most part.
Yeah,
he
like...
He kind of learns he just wants one person's attention.
Yeah. Which is cool and, like, shows that he is maturing as the franchise goes on.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. As an actual final entry into the franchise, I think it works well. It's a nice little, like, cherry on top of everything.
The ending's nice. It would have been nice to have a continuation, but obviously the actors got too old and all that.
Yeah.
And
I think that also, if there was a next... I don't think that they could have done a next step, because next step in maturity, you get to a lot more mature themes that they couldn't sell to that audience.
Exactly.
I guess, like, once they...
There's a reason why the books haven't, like... continued time-wise. They're kind of stuck at that point.
You can't lose, like, the demographic and all that, so your demographic's growing up, but, like, you don't want the characters to grow up, because, like, you want it to be kind of, like, immortalized. Greg immortalized middle school and all that, and it's like, oh, we don't want him to move on to high school and all that, like, because, you know, wanted to relate to the preteen audience, kind of.
Can't believe there was never a Roderick spin-off
of
Roderick in high school.
Or Roderick Rules College.
Oh, dude. Like a Van Wilder type film with Devin Bostic? Yes.
Like a fucking American Pie type film with, like, Roderick in fucking college.
Oh my goodness.
God.
I love that.
That's rich that you think Roderick's going to be in college.
Yeah, that's also true.
Roderick goes to band camp.
Roderick goes to band camp.
No, he wouldn't go to band camp either. You'd think he'd be above band camp.
Yeah, he gets sent to band camp.
Roger becomes a grifter. Let's go.
He does some... Okay, so the movie opens. This is Roderick goes to band camp. Movie opens with him doing a big prank on, like, the principal or something like that. And,
is Roderick even in high school in these movies? Or did he graduate?
Yeah, he's in high school. Yeah, he's in high school.
Okay, because, like, I thought, like, in the third one, I was thinking, like, in the third one, if he, like, graduated or not.
I want to see how old he is.
He does a really dumb, over-the-top prank in this hypothetical film.
Yeah.
And then the principal is like, you're being sent to summer school. And he's like, no, there's no point. I'm not going to get anything out of that. I like music. I want to be a rock star. I want to do this. And they're like, okay, we have a place for you, because they know how lame band camp is, and then they send him there anyway.
Ooh.
Okay, so the age of Roderick, by the way, in the film's timeline, the first three, he's aged from 16 to 18.
Okay,
and in the other one, he's 16.
Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right,
cool.
Cool.
That is good to know.
Well, I'm sure Devin Bostic was, like, older than 18 and all that, so it won't be weird when I'm calling him good looking and all that. All right.
It's no, anyone can admit that he is a good-looking man.
I will hold my tongue until I find out.
Okay.
Look at this man right here.
You can say that someone's handsome even if they're, like...
Well, yeah, like, it's not... I mean, unless you,
I'm
like,
not going to call a child handsome, Rhys. What's his name?
Children handsome all the time.
Devin Bostic, so Devon Bos...
Bostic, yeah, found him. He's Canadian.
Oh,
he is a very attractive man.
Yeah, there we go. Mate,
so how old was he?
So he is 30 now. Wow, he's 30.
He's 30?
And Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days, came out 10 years ago. He would have been 20.
Okay, then.
Okay. He would have been just 18 for the first film.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
all right.
So that's not weird then.
So it's alright, it's okay.
Wow, he was a pretty good actor for that age.
Yeah, we love Devin Bostic up in here. Come on the podcast, Devin.
Yeah. So
we'll get the whole cast up in here, man. When they start making more of the animated films.
Oh yeah, so all of our updates.
We'll get the original
update.
Are you guys doing an episode on the animated one?
I think that what we're gonna do. So that ties us into probably the next episode. So the next episode, I think we're gonna do probably a mashup of The Long Haul as well as the animated movie together. We're going to do a double feature.
Because the animated movie isn't really that long, and it's basically just a carbon copy of the first movie.
Yeah.
With just a very interesting stylistic choice.
And The Long Haul, if we can limit the amount that we talk about it, that would be great.
I think that's going to be impossible. I could talk about The Long Haul, how much I hate it for several hours.
I don't know if we can, though. Because, okay, so... When we also watched The Long Haul when we were coming off of the Substance.
I missed the first 30 minutes, so I couldn't rank it on Letterboxd, which I was very upset about.
and when Jacob and I were watching it, we were just so depleted of all of our emotions and everything.
The whole time.
And all that I could think to say was just, "This is so shit."
Yeah,
this is so shit. It
was something else.
It just kept on happening. That's the only thing that I could think to say was, "This is awful."
I just remember thinking we just got out of the third and I was like, wow, that was actually way better than what I was expecting. Because I was just like, you know, just a funny little film to watch on shrooms.
Funny.
And then I came out, I was like, wow, that was like an enriching experience. Wow, so reflective. And then watching The Long Haul, it was like, fucking hell. The soul stripped away. It was like, what the fuck are they even trying to say?
And now Reese and I are going to watch it sober, so we don't even have the aid of
I think you should do a shot game whenever Digby comes up. You got to take a shot.
And then we dive alcoholism and anger.
That's when Digby do it.
Yeah.
That's how Digby
does it. Shot.
Yeah, shot when That's How Digby Do It comes up.
Or when Diver Hands.
Rowley appears, so just a good starter.
Exactly.
And whenever Roderick looks weird or does something gross.
Okay, so the entire film.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's probably 20 shots.
Yeah,
and then just take take a swig when Greg says the infamous line, "I'm a meme."
Oh my god. Okay, let's stop talking about that.
Yeah. Well, we've got to save this.
Stop talking about that and save it for the next time. Where we will join you next time for the remaining Diary of Wimpy Kid films. Thank you so much, Jacob, for being here on the podcast.
No worries.
Pleasure to have you, mate.
I hope that you enjoyed your time, and I hope that you all enjoyed listening. People, have a great night.
See you, everybody.
Goodbye.
And don't forget to check out our Facebook page at Marathon Me Official, all one word, and our Instagram, MarathonMe_official, to keep up to date on the podcast. And hey, if you want to get into contact with us, email us at marathonmepodc, yes, the letter C, @gmail.com. Like podcast without the arse.